Ma'am, if you can make your screen full screen.
Yes. Yes.
Hi everyone, we are live on YouTube. Good afternoon to all the teachers. We will start the session sharp at 3:01. We are waiting for more teachers to join in. Ma'am, if you could make your PowerPoint presentation in a full screen mode.
I will. All right.
Yes, ma'am. All right, so we have 168 teachers live with us in the session. So we are waiting for the other teachers to join in. It's increasing, it has reached 214. Good afternoon, everybody. All right, so a very good afternoon, everybody. We welcome you all to this session on personality development of teachers by Dr. Vijay Ravi. Before we introduce the resource person for the day, let's understand some ground rules. We're live on YouTube, and if you want to participate, you can use the comment box to ask or answer a question. Before ending the session, we'll share the feedback form link with you all so that you can fill in the information after the session like we did in the previous session. Now, let me brief you about the resource person, Dr. Vijayam Ravi. Being a part of the changing education landscape for more than 40 years, Dr. Ravi applies a depth of knowledge in consulting her clients. Rich experience that she has gathered as an educationist, administrator, principal, trustee, director of education, chairman, and managing director of a firm enables Dr. Ravi to critically analyze the strengths and the weaknesses of the system and deliver the most appropriate solutions for the client's needs, thus catering to the client's demand with a perfect concoction of customized processes and technical solutions rather than adapting to the client's processes to a predefined framework. With this, I would request Dr. Ravi to take the session forward. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Sumit. Thank you so much. Preeti and Sumit, thank you so much. Thanks to Harper Collins also. Namaste, my very dear teachers and principals. It is a proud privilege for me to see you all or to talk to you on a topic which is so very essential these days. It's a pleasure. Hope you're all doing very well. The pandemic has taken a huge part of your life and made your life so very strenuous also. I understand, but the way you have all handled it so beautifully, so very well organized, kudos to you, congratulations to you, the teachers, to the principals, to the management, and all the educators connected with you. Thank you very much for being with me. It is a wonderful afternoon, and I am talking to you from Mumbai. So today the topic given was personality development of teachers. Now, before we get into the real topic, I want to now whatever I am sharing today, they are all tested by me as a teacher, as a principal, and so you can totally rely on that. Okay, and few experiences that I would be sharing are also from my own experiences. At the age of 23, I became a teacher, and the first class that was given to me was the plus 2 classes, 12th standard class, and I am a chemistry teacher. And I do vividly remember the first day, so much of a tension that I had walking into a classroom. And I am just 22 or 23, and the students sitting there are 18. So hardly 5-6 years difference between them and me. So good old days, 1980s, they were. So very good students, intelligent students. Also, they were mediocre students also. But experience since then that I had to go through, like many of you, that experience has made me a, a realistic teacher, I would say. And it also helped me to recall some of those good experiences as well as bad experiences that I had gone through as a child. So, to begin with, what I would want you to do is to answer me for one or two questions that I would be asking. You can write it in the chat box, and I'm sure Sumit will be able to help me out to understand that. The first thing that I want to ask you is, now, when you were a child, you were also into high school classes, primary classes, etc. You also might have come across with a teacher whom you did not like, and you had a nickname for that teacher also. What was that quality which you did not like in that teacher? Can you recall any of such teacher in your life when you were a child? Can you quickly write it on your chat box so that Sumit can help me relate? Yes.
I'm looking at the chat box in YouTube. Yes. So we can go a while to get the responses.
The teacher whom you did not like. for whatever reason. What was that?
Comes from Shivani ma'am,
Hmm.
a teacher. She says that my teacher was rude.
Rude. So a cruel behavior, a rude behavior. Any other thing? Any other quality?
Yes, so Sucheta ma'am says something that she didn't like in her teacher was favoritism.
Favoritism.
Right.
Very true. Partiality. We call it. Yes.
And Nakshatra ma'am says there was a teacher who used to mock me on my ethnicity.
Mock me on my.
Ethnicity.
Sorry.
Ethnicity. Yes.
Okay, mock me on my ethnicity. Oh my God, my God. Yeah, that is insult. Then
There was one teacher who would compare me with others. So one of the teachers that Meet ma'am.
compare me with.
Comparing with other students.
Oh, comparing with other students. Oh my goodness. That is so very painful, huh? Yes, yes.
There is one more by Ria ma'am. She says that my teacher was biased.
Biased, partial, again, favoritism. So, and there may be many people would say also they didn't like me, they liked quite few people, and they didn't like us, partiality. So many things are there, and you know very well, my dear teachers, we actually like a subject because of the teacher. If I say that, I'm sure most of you will agree with that. We were also like that. Maths was a terror for me for some time because I had a very poor math teacher. He would just come to the class, take a chalk, write on the board, write all the theorems or things like that, and he'll go back. There is not much of an interaction, and I wouldn't even know why would I learn algebra. Why should I? Why should I learn coordinate geometry? Why should I learn trigonometry? There is no such interaction, no explanations, no humane relationship at all. So I hated mathematics. It was at that time somebody else, a new teacher joined, a young teacher joined, and since then, maths became a wonderful subject to me. So I remember. So, like this, in most of our cases, also, we started liking a subject because we liked the teacher. Situations have not changed much even now. Today, also, children start loving a teacher, and then that subject becomes the favorite subject. If you ask your children, your own children, son or daughter, for an examination, you want to study, you prepare for the examination, they would keep that subject which they like, the teacher's subject, that only they will keep first and learn. You've seen all this. So, the teacher has a tremendous influence on our way of thinking. Now, imagine a teacher whom you loved most. What was that quality which attracted you to that teacher? Can you help me to know some values? That teacher who attracted you to her or him and you liked the teacher. Any?
Ma'am, looking in the comment box.
Mhm.
Okay, so yes, so one of the teachers, Seema Mittal ma'am says the honesty that she really liked about her teacher.
Okay.
Ma'am says her teacher was quite humble.
Quite
And, humble.
humble. Okay. So, honesty, humility, and then
And then one teacher says that the teacher was kind and approachable.
kind and approachable. See.
And
Mm.
says that his teacher would teach him lovingly.
Loving.
Yeah.
Very loving. So humility, honesty, approachability. So many great values your teachers had, and so you liked them. Now, it would be a worthwhile exercise for all of you at home. Not now. Now we have no time for that. इसलिए. So you think about the teacher whom you did not like, and you had certain qualities which you did not like in that teacher. Do a little bit of an introspection whether you have any of such qualities. I mean, this you have to do it without any prejudice. Honestly, you have to do it. No one is going to ask you for your paper, what you wrote down, or your mind. No one is able to open up and see. It's for your own self. Just see whether you have still traces of any of those characters of that teacher whom you hated, and if you have the qualities of that teacher whom you liked. If you have those qualities you liked in certain teachers, pat yourself on your shoulder. And if you are having certain qualities of that teacher whom you did not like, don't hate yourself, but start thinking, okay, how do I improve that? This is the first stage, realization of being a great teacher so that you can attract your students, get your children glued to you, to your class, and make them love you. As a teacher, you have to make your children love you so much. So, this is what has made me a great teacher. I am a very respected teacher among my students. Several students spread across the world. Even now, they get in touch with me. And so, that is a privilege. So, let us see now personality development of teachers. Why is personality development so very important? We have to ask this question. Do you mean to say personality means the look, physical look you mean, or the way you behave? Actually speaking, both matters. When you go to a school, I used to always talk to my staff and to all the people wherever I have been giving training, physical look also matters. It's not that God has given you certain beauty, that beauty cannot be changed at all. So you have to only do one thing, that make yourself presentable. Excess cosmetics are not going to help you at all, but be what you are. The genuineness that you carry will be reflected through your eyes and your smile. So your persona is going to be, actually speaking, coming out through your eyes, the way you smile, the way you talk, all that is going to bring out your persona. So, but why is this personality development so very important? The academic and psychological researchers say that the personal attributes of a teacher, they have very significant influence on student outcomes. They say that how the teacher looks, how the teacher behaves, how the teacher carries on her own lessons in the class, handles the children, have great connection, a perfect positive correlation with student outcomes. Those students who are in such a class where the teacher is very motivating, very inspiring, a good personality, and she also wants so much of a, makes her expectations very clear from the students in the beginning itself. With such teachers, the students have been finding it so very easy to move with, and the outcomes of the students were very good. That is what research says, not I say, you say. It is the research showing a positive, significant positive correlation. Now, a weak personality exudes weakness, and a strong personality exudes strength. If by chance you are a weak personality, a coward, or a very, very shy kind of a person, then the way you communicate, the way you stand in the presence of the students will exude only weakness. That's a weakness of character. Cowardice is a weakness of the character. Shyness is a weakness. Lack of communication is a weakness. This is something which I have seen in many teachers. Teachers are very good. They do their lessons very well in the class. But when you ask the teachers, okay, आइए, there is a meeting, आप इधर आके थोड़ा, you have to talk few sentences to the parents, then they fumble. They are not able to talk. In a class of 40 children, they can do a class so well. But in front of 500 adults, the teachers will sometimes stumble. Why so? Because the vocabulary, the communication skill, they are all lacking in some of the teachers. Therefore, the way you stand and talk also gives a confidence to the person sitting on the other side, the student sitting on the other side, that okay, this teacher knows what she's talking, so I can trust and see the way she behaves or he behaves, so I am okay with this teacher. So a development of personality to it is something like your professional expertise. That is what I would call this personality development. If you have it all well and good, by the end of the program, you would be able to decide whether you have it all or whether there are few areas where there you need to seriously improve. We can all do that. But if you are going to be a rocking teacher, a teacher who is going to be remembered by your students forever, then it is a must that you have to develop your personality. Now, I would say that there are 4 pillars. There are 4 pillars for becoming a teacher. And they are the pillars that they are fundamental to the personality development. It is something like the personality, the teacher is something like I would say a temple, a kind of at the apex you can see the teacher. The teacher is at the apex. She or he is making something there. It's something like this, meaning to say that it is all focused. Everything is on this teacher. Okay, it's something like a build. If you have a building, you need 4 pillars. So let us assume that to making a teacher, there are 4 pillars, which are all the personality traits. Let us see one by one what they are, so that you will be able to get later, okay, what are they? Do I have them? Or if I don't have, maybe I will have to pick up, or I have to learn, or where am I making a mistake? This is all for self introspection. Okay. The first one is your personal traits. As a person, you are you. Your chromosomes, the way you are born, the way you are created, your DNA is structured, the way your emotional brain is set up, you have certain personal traits. This can never be changed. This is a truth. Your personal traits, which are there right from beginning, the day one you are born, most of these things cannot be changed. All right. So these values are not transient at all. So they are all there. Okay. And the next pillar, I'll tell you what these are. From the next slide on, I will explain to you. The next one is your professional traits. Now, when you apply for a job in an institution to be a teacher, your CV you will be preparing, and in your CV, you would be writing 90% of your CV will display how you are professionally suitable for the position. So you are marketing yourself for a position. This is what I am good at. I can do this. I have this skill, that skill. I can do. I have handled thousands and thousands of children. I have leadership traits. I have so many other traits. So I can handle everything. So professionally, I am an equipped person. Towards the end, if you see of the CV, some people, it's not true that all CVs will have this. Some people I have seen, the thousands of CVs that I have interviewed, I have seen that they write, some of them write my weaknesses, my strengths. Some of them will be writing only 10% space, and what I like. Okay, all those things, my hobbies and things like that, they would be writing. So 90% is you are marketing yourself in your CV with your professional expertise, and what your school is also needing is that. But one of those very important things which the principals miss out is that small 10%. That is so very important deciding factor. Now, I can give you an example. When I was interviewing a teacher, a senior position teacher, the interview, the CV, there was a committee. They were all asking questions. When it came to me, I could see. I read through the CV. I understood CV is so good, so very talented. This, that, and all that. Then there was a gap in her work. From 1986 to 92, she has not worked anywhere. So nobody asked anything about that. But I wanted to know what is the reason for that. Why did you not work between 86 to 92? There is a big gap. What was the reason? She was very uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. So I said, no, I don't want to know. If it is so very uncomfortable for you, I do not want to know. You are otherwise a very great candidate for this position, no doubt about it. But I wanted to know what makes you have that gap in a straight line graph that was going up in your career. This gap is bothering me. So, with great difficulty, she spoke to me. She wanted only me to be there. The rest of the committee members were asked to wait outside. She told me that that was the bad part of my life. I had a very painful past. The marriage took place, had a son. The son was quite unwell. Son had an autism kind of an issue. And the moment that autism thing started, my husband did not want to live with me. And he had another connections and he went away. He left me. I had no way to earn money. I did not know, in a different state. I was away from my parents. I couldn't do anything with my son. I was struggling. I had to do all odd jobs. That is a very painful patch of my life. I am right now a single mother. So much of emotional disturbance that I have. I consoled her. We gave her a job later. But the beauty is that I had constantly an eye on this teacher because she needed support, emotional support. So the principals will have to give that emotional support to such people. Being a single mother or single dad is not a crime at all. Living alone is also not a crime, but such people are prone to emotional disturbances. So, in a teaching career, especially these emotional disturbances will create a lot of changes. Vibrations will be different because the children you are handling, their future, their mental makeup, if you are disturbed, they also will be disturbed. So, we have to support, as principals, we have to support the teachers in those cases. So, going through a CV and interviewing only for the professional expertise, the principals and the leaders will have to very clearly look into, read between lines, I would say. So, professional traits, very important. Now comes social traits. How effectively you are taking the society into your fold as a teacher. In a classroom, if you have 40 children, they come from 40 different families, which means 40 different culture, 40 different religion, or it could be many difficulties, language difficulties, or whatever. So you have to handle this group of students with so much of care. So social traits talk of that. Then comes your emotional traits. Now, you are not gods, certainly not. You teachers have a family of your own. You also sometimes give in to emotions. At home, also, you may have certain disappointments. All days are not the same. Okay? And with all that backup in your mind, when you enter the school, sometimes chances are there that we lose our cool. We get angry. At home, children, because they are a lower species to us, subordinates to us. So we get angry on them, like how somebody else got angry on us and we get angry on the other. All right. So emotional traits also play a very, very important role on a teacher. Now, all these four traits, personal, professional, social, and emotional, all these four pillars make up a teacher and her or his personality. Now, let us see personal traits में क्या क्या चलता है. See, there are several personal traits, but to me, what appears to be the most important, something which is unavoidable, are these. One is love, integrity, transparency, compassion, tolerance, and patience. Now, love, when you have love, you have all the other values with you. Respect comes uninvited. Wherever there is love, you have respect. Okay? So that comes uninvited. And you as a teacher should be a very loving person. Someone commented what they liked in the teacher is a very loving. The love will be oozing out of the eyes of the teacher when you look at that. The smile will always be loving, welcoming, embracing the students. So students always look forward to having a teacher who smiles, who is so loving. That is very, very important. Integrity. I am including truth into it, honesty into it. Someone said, my teacher was very honest. Yes. So honesty, integrity, consistency, conviction, all of these will come into integrity. And also one more very important value which will come into integrity is trustworthiness. Meaning to say, people can trust you. Meaning to say, when you say certain things, you will hold on to it. You would not change it. You try to help someone, you say that I will help you. Tomorrow, when they come to receive the help, you will not say that, oh, I don't know, I didn't say anything. You are a liar. No, you should not be. Honesty, integrity, consistency to whatever you are saying. Yesterday, I said something. Today also, I will say the same thing. Tomorrow also, I will say the same thing. That is what is consistency is all about. And integrity stands for such people. You need not worry about a person who is truthful and who has integrity, because he will not stab you at your back. You have several characters in your life, my very dear teachers and principals, among our own groups, several groups that you are interacting. Some of the people are untruthful. They stab you at the back. They pretend that they are your good friends. They talk to you ill about others, and if by chance you spill out some words, they carry this message to that person, make you people fight with each other. In a teaching career, this is the last thing that should happen. All right. So you have to be a person with truth on your side and a person with integrity and transparency. Whatever you do, you are transparent. This is what I am. I don't have to hide anything. The beauty is that when you are transparent, you do not carry load on your heart. Every day before going home from work, you don't have to worry about, oh my God, I didn't do this today. What do I do? The principal is asking me, did you complete the job? I said, yes. Now, if suddenly tomorrow morning she asks me, show me the work, where will I go? No, be transparent to your principal. Tell the principal, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, you gave us this job. We were able to do, I was able to do it a little bit, but not completed. I'm sorry, I need a little more time. Transparency will always get you tremendous appreciation. Your superiors will always appreciate your quality of transparency. Compassion, oh my God, that's one of the most beautiful value personality trait personally you should have. Compassion includes kindness, warmth, all that it takes in, and reassurance, all of that comes in compassion. One has to be compassionate. Now, compassionate, the extent of compassion, I heard somebody talking to me about his wife, who's no more. He was saying she was a very compassionate person, madam. Very compassionate in the sense somebody will come, madam, I want a job. Can I get a job? Okay. Turant, she will call up somebody. This person is coming there with a job, and you please see whether he is fit for the job or not. And when the job, he goes away, the next day she calls up that person to find out whether that person has got a job or not. And not only that, usually it happens they will give the job, but not that, madam, the person was telling me, not that, after 1 month this lady will again call to that officer, I had sent you someone whom you took, thank you very much, how is he working, how is his family doing? Oh my God, that is compassion. Making sure that the kindness that you have extended has reached the paramount limit. To that extent, the help has gone, and that person is living happily, understanding the other person, the trouble of that person, the strain that he is going through, trying to help. Especially for you teachers, I think this compassion is going to play a significant role in the coming days. When you are reopening the schools, the children who are going to come to you are coming to you with several problems which you may not have seen so far. Number one problem which you will essentially you will see is frustration. Because the kids have not gone anywhere. They were all tied up at home. And at home also their own parents, their worries, and sometimes family may be death hota hoga. So those kind of difficulties and strain those children are all going to come. So that is why I always tell the principals, your counselors have to be full-time working when the school reopens, because these children need to be pacified. Why? Even some of our own teachers might have gone through difficulties. The children might have lost, their parents might have lost their jobs. Economic struggle might be happening. So compassionate approach to the children, and the digital divide that has caused also might have put them to a backseat, insult. All these things work on the children. So compassion is a very, very important qualities that you need to have if you are going to be a teacher. Definitely. And then tolerance, accepting people as they are, allowing them to continue the way they have to continue. This does not mean that you don't have to discipline the children, you have to, no doubt about it. But without tolerating, you have no patience at all. You have no next value is patience. You don't have patience at all. So you don't tolerate anyone. You don't allow anyone to talk. What you say is right. No. Allowing the other members also to talk, to agree, allow them to share their experiences. All of this come with a teacher. Especially the problem that you may come across, is the parents. The parents of the children, they have hundreds of reasons to complain to you or to say that they are not able to pay the school fees. You may feel like asking them, then how does the school run? You are right, but then tolerate them. Let us together find out some solution for that. This pandemic has caused so much of worries everywhere. Accept the people as they are, patiently intervene in the matters of children, look at them so very passionately as they are your children. Now, you may ask me, what do you think, madam? We are having thousand arms to handle all these things? Yes. If you have chosen to be a teacher in your life, you have to develop those thousand arms. Simple. Otherwise, you are unfit for this profession. You cannot handle the stress at all. So these are the personal traits, some 6 of them, which according to me are very, very, very important. Then comes your professional traits. The first one I have deliberately written, communication. And this is the casualty with our teachers. Communication is a problem. Not only with the teachers, sometimes I have seen it with the principals also. Some principals with whom I am working now, I see that writing a letter to a parent or to any other organization is still a problem with principals. Not that they don't know the language, they know the language. What they do, what mistake the school principals and teachers do while communicating with the parents is that they mix up a lot of emotion into the letter. A letter has to be an official communication from the school to the recipient, and it need not carry emotions. So communication is an art and science. The way you communicate, the way you write, the way you speak, the way your words actually must make the other person very much wanted. It should not be that your words should kill that person's self esteem. Someone mentioned that my teacher was insulting me, mocking my ethnicity. So, how does the student know that she was mocking or he was mocking? Through the words. So, the communication or the look also, your non-verbal communication also is equally important. The way you look at children with hatred or indifference, all this the children will understand. Communication is extremely important. If you are good at that, pat yourself on your shoulder. If you feel that you have to improve upon communication, start today, because if communication is your strong weapon, professional weapon in your hand. Okay. Now, if you see any school programs, events like an annual day or a big sports day or any other things happen in your school, whom does the principal call for anchoring? Mostly the principals will be calling only the English teachers. Why? Because the science teachers and the math teachers and the art, craft, music, or whatever teachers they have a little bit of a limitations with language usage. So they call always the English teachers. My request to all the science and math teachers is to come out of that periphery and prove yourself that you are capable, for which you have to read. You have to read so much that you acquire a lot of new words. New words have to be acquired, books have to be read for self improvement, communications, etc. And when you have enough words, you would be able to communicate beautifully well. A rough estimate of the vocabulary words in English, if I give, this was the way I was guiding my students when I was the principal for a long time, is that a student in the by the time he comes to sixth standard, the student should be able to use anything between 5 to 6,000 words in English vocabulary. 5 to 6,000 words. Because when vocabulary is there, children do not have any hesitation to talk. The same is the case with you as well. When you go to higher classes, by 12th standard, when the student reaches, I would say, aram se, he should be able to own around 15,000 vocabulary words, new words. He should be having. So, when we amass vocabulary, communication becomes an art, and communication attracts people to you. That's very important. Second point is academic expertise. You should be so much talented with your academic stuff. The knowledge in your subject is something very, very important. I want to give you a very personal example. Since then, I had been practicing it, and so I can say that to you. This was the time in 1980 when I was doing my B.Ed course in Government Training College, Trichur, and there was teachers come, our professors come to for a teaching lessons, observation of lessons. We are attached, affiliated to few schools. We go there and teach, and they come and observe. Four lessons they observe in a month. Okay, so like that, my lessons were all observed. 4 sessions were over. Okay, and I was a very good teacher because I have taken B.Ed purposely because I wanted to become a teacher. All right, so my professor was so happy, and that was the last day of my teaching in that school, and I was handling preparation of chlorine from potassium chloride and sulfuric acid in the presence of a catalyst. So what happened was that that day, actually, the professor doesn't have to come to the school at all. I was so sure 4 lessons are observed, it's all over, gone. I was handling the class, and I did not prepare for that day, thinking that I know it is after all potassium chloride and sulfuric acid. What is there to learn about it? Nothing. I can write the equation, teach them. That's okay. I went to the school. I started, it was 9th standard, and I started writing down the equation. There was a balancing of equation required. I was stuck up there. I couldn't balance the equation. There comes the professor. He just walks into the classroom, quietly goes and sits at the back bench. Most unfortunately, His daughter is also studying in that class. I was struggling, sweating. I couldn't balance the equation. Quietly, the professor walked to the front, took the piece of chalk on the board. He very quietly wrote the balanced equation and smiled at me and walked away. I felt that the earth would open up, and just like Sita, I would have drowned. The next day, he called me. I told him, "Sir, you have to fail me. I deserve that." He said, "No, no, Jim. I will not fail you, but this is a lesson you will remember for your lifetime. When you walk into a classroom, you should be extremely thorough with what you have to teach. Children should feel that whatever you are saying, beyond that, there is no truth. That kind of an authenticity you should have in your academic subject. So, academic expertise is extremely important for you. If you have to do higher studies, do it, or every day you go to the class only with great preparations. Then comes goal setting. You have to set a goal for your own self and also for the teachers, for the children. You should help them. Where are you right now? What is your weakness? What is your strength? Okay, by the end of this term examination, you would be able to do this. You will reach here. You have to work like this. Goal setting is one of your essential responsibilities. Then, listening skill. You always will be hearing people. Listening calls for a patient ear. Children have so many things to say. All may not be relevant. It may be time consuming for you to attend to each and every blabbering of the children. But in general, you should try to understand their problems by listening to them. It's very important. Listening skill is very crucial. This is not only for your students, at your own home also. Practice the same thing with your own kids, with your own family members. Listening will, to a large extent, I must say, will solve your problems. Then engaging the children. When you walk into the class, explain to them what you expect of them. When that expectation is told that this is what you want, then you give the activities or the lessons or the learning processes, whatever you want to teach them. Engage the children that they don't get even one moment to deviate their attention from you. That is very, very important. Even when you turn to the board and write your things on the board, you should have eyes at your back. What the students are doing. Then you must be a lifelong learner, of which I have no doubt, because you have come today to learn something, isn't it? It's not that all these things you don't know. You know them, but you want to hear, is there any other different perspective that somebody is giving? So you must be a lifelong learner. Every day you learn something. Every day your children also teach something to you. A little baby also can teach you something. I remember once when I was the principal, children could walk into my room without any permission. They can just run into my room. That was the thing I had said. So a little girl, senior KG girl, walked into my room, and I hugged her, called her, and she spoke in a fairly good English. She said, she showed me a pin, a small pin which you stuck to this boards, for sticking papers. So that pin, she showed me that pin, and she said, "Madam, this pin was lying on the veranda. Now we are small children. We are running here and there. If this pricks, it becomes poisonous, is it not? Would you tell the peons to clean up the veranda after every hour or something, madam? Who's talking this? A 3.5 or 4.5 year old little girl talking to a principal. I hugged her. I said, I'm really sorry. It should not have happened. I'll take it into account. With her in my presence, I called the head pew. I told, this pin is lying down on the floor. This should not happen again. Make sure that all the flannel board pins are properly stuck there. We learn. We learn from even children. Only thing that we need to have a mindset. Reading habit, I said, a reader is a leader. No doubt. The more you read, the more you lead. You get a lot of information about what's happening in the world. Books could be anything, self motivating books, or development books, or subject wise books, or biographies, or about economics. Anything that you wish to read, you must read, other than your school stuff. So, very important. Then you have to take initiative. This initiative is a big problem as far as principals are concerned. They want some programs to be undertaken by some teachers and they open it to them. No teacher will come forward. Taking initiative, taking responsibility is a big difficulty for many teachers because it calls for more work, planning, execution, evaluation, monitoring. A lot of things are there. So, initiative shows that you are an open person to take up challenges, more responsibilities, and it is one step towards becoming a leader. All right, so these are the professional traits that you need to develop in you, without which proceeding further would be difficult. Now comes social traits. The social traits, when I talk about it, the first and the foremost thing comes to my mind is a sense of fairness and social justice. Some of the persons said partiality, favoritism. That is because the teacher is lacking that sense of fairness. Social justice is lacking in people, and that is why some people are bigger than the others. Moneyed people are different. People without money are to be looked at in a different way. These kinds of disparities, or good looking children or children coming from very rich families are looked after. I am sure these days teachers are not like that. But if at all there is any such thing, that has to be removed, nipped it in the bud itself. Acceptance. Accepting the children coming from the society, different parts of the society, with the different backlog. The karma which these children are carrying with you are huge. Accept them as they are. You are there as a mediator. You are there as a foster mother or foster parent, father. Okay? Adjust and adapt, change, which I'm sure you have done. You've done so well. The pandemic has walked in on a Friday evening and you've adapted. You've adapted so well to the demanding, challenging situations and put in so much of hard work to adjust. The online classes, the hybrid classes, they are all planned by you. I'm sure you welcome change. There is no problem about that. Then knowing the limits, acceptance. I think acceptance I wrote again. I'm sorry. Knowing the limits of oneself. One should be able to understand, I can go only this much. Now, between us, there may be very often these kind of things. It has happened in my career also. Two teachers complain to you. The two teachers have equal qualifications, equal experience, but they are placed in different classes. So one is feeling low about it, one is feeling very happy about it. So the person who feels low about it walks to my room, and what am I lacking? I am like her. The answer is acceptance. The answer is your limitations. You have certain limitations. Experience may be the same, salary may be, the qualifications may be the same, but you have certain limitations in your character. That is the reason you are here, someone is elsewhere. So we must be able to accept the limitations without hesitation. All right, continuously we have to improve ourselves. Today I am like this. I have a postgraduate degree, I have a B.Ed degree. So tomorrow, this is not enough. An MSc or an MA B.Ed is not going to be enough. Learn, still learn, join classes, learn more. Additional skill courses, if you need to do, please do, be it technology or be it otherwise, academics. Improve your own performance. You are your mark to compare. You should not compare yourself with others. You compare your own self. Yesterday I was like this. Today I need to go here. Tomorrow I will be there. So, comparison is with your own self. That is the best thing possible. And then keeping a sense of humor. Now, we have seen few teachers. They are great teachers, no doubt about it. But they don't know to smile. They don't smile at all. All the time, they will be keeping their face, the muscles will be so rigid, they can't even smile at a joke. Such people, very difficult, huh? Very difficult. Let me tell you, you will not get across to the children. You need a sense of humor. Once in a while, you can deviate in your classes. Sometimes, when I was teaching in 12th standard, I have seen it. The boys and girls, I had a class of about 80 students, boys and girls, 17, 18-year-old boys and girls. Handling them is not easy all the time. So I have to use several tactics. Sometimes I will be talking to them about a movie that I saw yesterday. That has got nothing to do with organic chemistry. Okay? But I have to talk. I will deviate. 3-4 minutes I will deviate, and maybe I will be cracking one joke which came in the movie, or a scene I will be appreciating. And if it is a popular movie which is running in the theaters, the children also would join. The whole class will participate, and there I have their attention. A sense of humor you should always have. Collaboration, teamwork. Work with your own team, your department, your school team. You cannot move away from a team. As a team only, you are all known, the school teachers. So collaboration, teamwork, these are all the social traits that you all must have. Emotional traits. Now, emotional traits, when I come to you, the first thing is control of emotions.
Ma'am, there is a question from one of the principals, Shalini ma'am,
Mm.
and she asks that these days as a principal, she has realized that the credit of doing good work is more work. So, how to make teachers more responsible who do not do secondary duties?
Who do not do
Secondary duties.
secondary duties? Yes, yes. Shalini madam, you have hit the correct point, madam. Most of the teachers, I have also seen it happening. They think that the responsibility is to teach them, go after the teaching over. Any secondary duty given to them, even if it is a substitution duty, they hesitate to do that. Okay? So, how to handle such a situation is very, very difficult. It is not easy at all. I appreciate you. So, what I do is that I have done is that one, is that I have to make a personal note of those people in mind. And casually, I may have to enter into a conversation with some people. As I mentioned the other day, these people are like that, so rigid for some reason or the other. It would be a worthwhile exercise if you just peep into that area of their dark side, why they are not taking initiative, and to motivate them that this is what they have to do. That has worked with me, it has worked. It will not work all of a sudden, it will work after some time. The moment the teachers know, such teachers know that you are noticing them and that you are all for them to come ahead and help them to come over their difficulties, they will do. But there is always a difficulty, some other difficulty. Some teachers, not all, some teachers connect this additional work, they relate it with money. If I am ready to work from 9 to 4, from 4 to 5, if I work, what is it that is in turn for me? What will I get? This is something, a bad disease among the teachers, which you will have to seriously work, Shalini madam. You have to motivate the teachers that it is not a 9 to 4 job. Teacher's job is not a 9 to 4 job. Second point is that, which my management has taught me, is that, hard work will always be related to increment. The hard work that you do in a performance appraisal, it is related to increment. But the quality work that you do would always entail you for a promotion. Therefore, you have to teach your teachers, motivate your teachers that this 9 to 4 job is not, you're not working in an office, you're not an 8-hour job profession. All right. So, this is also part and parcel of the responsibilities. I would say this is something I have done. The other thing which I have done is that the year beginning itself, the orientation of teachers, that time itself, I tell them, this is what I am. This is what I would request you to do. This is what you will have to do. Very clear. There is no mincing of words. And you will start a performance appraisal. A key performance indicator structure आप बना दीजिए, टीचर्स को डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कीजिए. की परफॉर्मेंस एरियाज, की परफॉर्मेंस इंडिकेटर्स. So, उसमें key performance area में your areas of work like substitution, additional work, event supervising or participation, all that will come. The indicator you write down. If the teacher is not doing it, mark it. You have given them in the beginning of the year itself. They will know that they are going to be assessed. So, performance-based salary structure is something which you can think of. These are all the things which has worked with me. Probably you can try. Thank you for this question. And
ma'am,
yes.
There is one more question contrary to this.
Hmm.
So one teacher has asked, what if the teachers are overburdened with the secondary duties and they have no time to polish their skills? So what to do in that case?
That is also that is also true. From the side of the teachers, if you think, principals have a habit. Whom will they call? Always those teachers who are constantly doing good job, they only will be inko bulao, inko bulao, inko bulao. As a result, they are overworked to the maximum, beyond level. So that causes frustration sometimes, and your own polishing the skills also doesn't happen. You are very correct in that. So my very dear teacher, what you must do is that two things you can do. One is that have a face-to-face talk with your principal and say that you are not saying no to her at all. You will do, but then certain concessions in some other work has to be done by way of giving extended time, maybe a paper submission, evaluated paper submission, give me a little more time, I will complete it, otherwise you will break down. You can say that with your principal. You can talk to the principal, because the principal may be knowing it. It's not that they don't know, but then they may not strike them that bad. Since you are doing it, okay, she will do it. So unless and otherwise you make your point very clear, this will not happen. Second point is that you have to manage your time. To polishing your skills, if that is a very personal need, and if that has to happen, the effort has to be from your side. I give you a small example. I had one PhD, and that was more than sufficient. With 4 postgraduate degrees and 1 PhD is more than sufficient. Daudega. But still, I wanted to do one more PhD. And I was the highest position ever, with a lot of responsibilities, travel inside, outside the country, and all, so much. So, and I am a good housewife also. Cooking and all that I do myself. I could afford plenty of servants, but then I didn't. I wanted to do it myself. I want to do a PhD. And PhD in what? Philosophy. There was no time for me at all. No time at all. So I have to do it. What did I do? What is the time? I started waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 to 6 is my 3 hours time. No phone calls. Nobody will disturb you. That solid time is your own time. Nobody else's time you are sacrificing. You are doing all your jobs to the people, whoever is concerned. You are spending your own time also. I completed within 4 years. A PhD time is 4 years. The second PhD also I completed within 4 years. While I was at the peak of my work. If there's a will, there is a way. My very dear teacher, manage your time. Manage your time. That is the answer. Okay. Now coming to emotional traits, control of emotions is very important, which is what most of us are not good at. We bust out our emotions. Why is it happening? Most of the time, our rational brain goes to sleep and the emotional brain takes charge. The amygdala of our brain, prefrontal cortex, takes over the rational brain and bursts out of emotion, anger, hatred, frustration, speaking abusive language. All this comes to us, hitting people. All these are the amygdala's job, the emotional brain's job. We have to have control of emotion. That's very important. Calmness. Very calm, composed. You may be boiling inside, but you have to keep yourself calm. Empathy. Somebody else's pain, you are able to feel it. That is very, very essential for a teacher. Motivating the children, performing, the low performers, the middle performers, and the higher performers, gifted children, motivating them to the highest level. That's very important. Inspiring them to do something. As a great leader, you have to inspire. Looking at you, you are a role model. Looking at you, they have to be inspired. Then you have to be optimistic and hopeful, a positive attitude. Come whatever, you can do it. We'll all do it. We'll try. We'll make it a try. It may fail. Failing is not a harmful thing or anything menial. It is good. Let us fail. No problem. We'll learn from the failure. All right? Determination. Very determined. If I take up a job, I would have completed it. The lethargy is very much against this determination. That is what pulls us down. Lethargy pulls us down. Determination keeps us going. So these emotional traits. So together, the traits in all, we have all these traits. All together put some 28 traits or so are there. And all of them are required for you if you want to develop your personality. Now you have to check yourself whether I have certain things, whether I don't have. What is it that I don't have? I have to develop. You have to work on that. If you decide, you will do it. Somebody else cannot decide for you. All right? Now comes the next one. Teacher is a puzzle of all these traits. Now, all these things, what you see here, are puzzles. And all of them, consider them as all these 28 or 30 traits that I have mentioned. All these have to fit one into the other. Then the teacher puzzle is complete. The personality puzzle becomes complete. But some people, I told you all these are important. But there are essentially 4 things which are very, very important for a teacher. And those puzzles are like this. The personality puzzle. One of the most important thing that you should have in all these puzzles is the command over the subject and instruction. You are a brilliant teacher, a great teacher, a teacher who can be emulated with so much of subject knowledge. This is one puzzle. The next puzzle is you have confidence and trustworthiness. You are so confident about what you are and you are trustworthy. People can come to you, talk to you, get connected with you. You will not ditch them. They have 100% trust on you that if they give you a job, you would do it. And the same feeling you are giving it to the children also, that they can trust you. Communication skill is another trait, the puzzle that you have to fix properly. And motivating, inspiring. If all these 4 are together with you to begin with, you would have actually started attracting all the other puzzles into you. Those puzzles can all join here, 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 like that. It all gets up, and you will see the whole puzzle will be completed. So, teacher is a puzzle, a personality puzzle. These 4 essentially have to be there at the center, and all the other puzzles will get joined. All right? Which one are you as a teacher? I'm going to give you a few words. You can decide what you are. All right? The teacher can transform into any one of the roles, ultimate being the guru. Sanskrit word, there are several Sanskrit words for a teacher. Okay, and they all have a different meaning. Okay, let us see one by one. Adhyapak is a Sanskrit word. What does Adhyapak means? An Adhyapak means a person who informs, passes on information. You have Upadhyaya. Upadhyaya is a Sanskrit word. It shows that you pass information plus knowledge. You also pass knowledge to the student. So you have raised your level from Adhyapak to Upadhyaya. Then comes Acharya. Acharya passes on information plus knowledge plus skill. So you have become an Acharya. Okay? Then comes a Pandit. So what is a Pandit? Actually, Pandit is a person who passes on to the students information, knowledge, skill, and deep insight into what he has learned. Poking, asking so many questions and making the child go deep, delve into the bottom of the knowledge. And such persons are called Pandits. Drishta. Here, the teacher gives information, knowledge, skills, deep insight, and also makes the child a visionary thinker. See beyond. All right, that is a drishta. The last one is guru. Guru makes you information, knowledge, skill, insight, deep insight, a visionary thinker. Beyond that, he also tries to help you find out your own wisdom. Guru, the darkness in you disappears totally and you become totally empowered. You know the wisdom in you. He becomes a guru. Each one of us may be falling into any of these categories. We have to decide, but the ultimate goal is guru. And all these 28 or 30 traits that I mentioned help you, your transformation into these different roles. It helps you. Okay? The last point that I'm touching up is that you have to be a brand. A teacher has to be a personal brand. You should have a personal brand. Oh, this teacher, she is like this. She can't be anything else. That you have set a standard, a brand. And so that is very, very important for you. Who you are is very important. Who you are when you decide a brand. And what is your wish? What is that you wish to be? That will create your brand. And what do you want others to perceive you as? This is also very important. So, who you are, you have to find out who you are. Are you an Adhyapak, Upadhyay, or whatever it is? What you wish to be, that also will create a brand. What you want others to perceive you as. These three things will create your brand. Let us see. What makes you a brand? Your professional competence, number one. That there is nobody to beat you in your knowledge about your subject. Children know that this teacher के पास जाएगा तो हमारा आंसर पक्का हो जाएगा. Professional competence. Your love for teaching and children. She's a great teacher, a warm teacher, a loving teacher. See, the brand gets built. The human being you are, the most compassionate person, the patient person, and also the person who brings all the people together, all the good things together. So, the values that you hold high, your personal traits, the way you want to be known as, perceived as a truthful person, you can trust her, you can trust him. He's a person of integrity. He will not ditch you. Your brand is created. Communication. Oh, if this matter has to be communicated, why is that the principals go after the English teachers for communication? Because they have created a brand. They are good at their language. You create a communication brand for yourself. Yes, I am communicating. What am I doing? I'm communicating orally, written, non-verbal communication. I'm expressing to the society as to what I want to. So the brand of you get built on all these fronts. And you have to be a brand, a personal brand, a teacher brand, not the whiskey teacher. Okay, the teacher brand is very, very important for you. Sometimes almost to the end of it at coming in, big power of small things we miss out. We meet several people, we go to several places. Our mind is so very good, it cannot remember the years and moments, and no, it cannot remember the year, month, date and all that, but certain specific moments in life you will remember. Those moments have big powers to create in you. The moments that we cherish, memories about people on events or events, are very important. A person's character then is also made up of moments. He is how they acted at some moment, what they did for others at some moment, how they made others feel at some moment. Look at this, how they acted, how they made others feel at some moment, and what they did for others. So, perception. These moments make your character, these moments project you. And the last slide, I would say, the courtesy for this big power of small things is, there's a book called The Road to Your Character, written by David Brooks. He uses these sentences, very, very beautiful. And he also talks about these two things. What do you want? Resume virtues or eulogy virtues? What are these resume virtues? Resume virtues are the ones which you will be able to sell at your marketplace. Meaning to say, I told you in the beginning, when you write your CV, 90% of your skills that you bring to the marketplace in your professional career, so that you successfully proceed further, that is meant for resume. Eulogy virtues are the ones that are talked about you at your funeral. How kind he was. He was such a faithful person, loving person. But they are all your innate traits. That is what people remember. Your market skills are not remembered then. Your innate traits are, your eulogy virtues are remembered by people. What do you want? Actually speaking, you need both. You need both. But very often, principals forget to bring out the eulogy virtues present in those teachers. They have to give maximum attention to it to bring out that eulogy virtues. The professional virtues certainly will come out because they have to sit in higher places, position themselves in higher places, and therefore that will come out. But eulogy virtues are so very innate, so very personal to the teachers. It has to come out. You have to display it. That very important. Mr. David says, the writer says like that. So teachers, you will have to be working so hard to collate all your good traits, innate traits. Be happy about what you are at the moment. Try to improve upon if you have any weaknesses. Do not get bogged down by work. Do not say that you don't have time for yourself. Time is with us. If we decide, we have time for it. All right? No, this is actually, I will stop here. Okay? So, Smith, so it's done. If there is any question, they can ask me. Thank you so much for being part of the session. Any
So, ma'am,
question? Yes?
yeah, I'm looking at the chat. I'm looking at the comment box to
Okay.
see if there are any questions.
Hmm.
So all they are writing is the praise. So they have been praising you a lot.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks to
So,
all of you. Remember one thing, my very, 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 very dear teachers and principals. You are so dear to me because I belong to you. Uh, so many reasons are there for you to feel disappointed. Very many reasons could be there because we lead a personal life also. We have a professional life also, and personal life may not be always very pleasant, and they are very close to your heart. You can't be going around and speaking about it to all the people, but reasons are plenty for you to be disappointed. Reasons for you to be happy are very limited. That if you lose out to find out that moment, those aha moments in your life, you will be doomed forever. This life given to you as a teacher is a wonderful experience for you. Remember about thousands and thousands and thousands of children who go through your hands by the time you retire. How many lives you have touched. That is the great feeling that should make you very happy. Money will come and go. We need money. Definitely, we need money to work, to live. But then, money is not the only thing. You need a mental satisfaction when you work, that you have done something to the society. You're all in the teaching field because you are the chosen ones by God Almighty to touch the lives of others. He can't do it by himself, so he has chosen the teachers to touch the lives of others. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Before the final word of thanks, I would like to mention this to all the teachers that the feedback form links have been shared in the comment box on YouTube. Please fill the feedback form like you did in the previous session. And ma'am, you rightly said that money is not everything. So mental satisfaction is more important. So thank you so much, ma'am, for another lovely session. Just the few points that you have just stated in the session, the kind of qualities that you mentioned, the four pillars of personality, be it personal traits, professional traits, social traits, and emotional traits. Something that I really liked was personality puzzle. And when you mentioned that small things make a big difference, I totally agree with you that small things do make a big difference. So thank you so much, ma'am, for a lovely session on personality development. Thank you so much, the management of Air Force. And most importantly, thank you so much, all the participants, for attending this session on YouTube. It was lovely meeting you all. And before we wind up the session, I would again emphasize on the feedback form. The link has been shared in the comment box. Please click on the link to fill the feedback form. And yes, with this, we would like to end the session. Thank you so much, everyone, once again. Have a wonderful evening ahead. Stay healthy and stay safe. Thank you.